Well, hello there, folks. Well, today's for a different location, of course, which is the gym. So, before I head into the gym, I want to do a quick video on how can you effectively recruit great trainers. Because recently on LinkedIn, someone posed the question, how can you start a great RTO? And my response was, well, it all starts with the trainers, doesn't it? You've got to have great trainers and a great trainer pool to be able to choose from if you're going to launch your courses, right? And it's kind of like a duh for me, but a lot of people will emphasize the importance of having great quality trainers, right? So the thing is though, with recruiting a great trainer, and I've been in this space for a long time, and I have come across some great ones, some average ones, some very poor trainers. But at the end of the day, if you're an organization, you have to get your recruiting on point, all right? And I've been able to be blessed with the privilege of being part of the recruiting process, but also I have recruited some very, very, very successful trainers. And I've also said no to a lot of trainers. But I've also had situations where other people have recruited trainers, and afterwards I found out and I'm like, whoa, I never would have recruited that person, right? Now, what we need to appreciate is, as an RTO or registered training organization or any organization, ultimately, recruiting is a risk. Recruiting is a risk. You probably want to grab a pen and write that down. But the thing is, with recruiting, you don't really know what you've got until they're already in the door. You don't know what you've got until they're already in the door. And once they're in the door, sometimes it can be too late. So onboarding can certainly smooth out rough edges, right? However, what I want to share with you is 3 simple things that you can do in regards to your recruiting process that's going to make your recruiting even more successful of great trainers. So the first thing that I want to share is attitude. You want to be screening for attitude over skills and over experience. Now that may seem like an unusual thing, but I have found the people that have got the greatest attitude will always outperform those that have been training for longer periods of time. And people have got the great attitude that are willing to learn, willing to put in the work, willing to take on feedback, willing to try new things, and willing to be trained on the training are always going to be more successful, all right? So I'm going to ask questions such as, how many public speaking courses have you done? Where else are you developing your skills as a communicator? What books are you reading around public speaking and presenting? And essentially show me in your answers that you've got the attitude of your willingness to take on feedback and get better and better and better and better at your craft of public speaking, training, engaging audiences, whatever that may be, right? So the first thing I'm screening for is attitude and mindset, because it is far easier to teach someone with a great attitude than somebody that's been stuck in their ways for 20, 30 years doing what they've always done, right? Now, the second thing that I'm always screening for if I'm ever recruiting is essentially, what varieties of audiences have you actually taught? Now, the reason for this is, if you are teaching small kids, that's one challenge. If you're teaching teenagers, that's another challenge. If you're teaching a corporate environment, that's another challenge. If you're teaching on mine sites, that's another challenge, right? So your ability to teach across a variety of industries and audiences, and also big and small, and even one-on-one, that's going to mean that you've got dexterity and flexibility in your delivery and your ability to actually build rapport with audiences and make it engaging. Now, on top of that, I want to know that that person that's delivered across those audiences has got great feedback from those audiences. And if they haven't got great feedback, they've learnt from those experiences, right? So first one was attitude. Second one was varieties of audiences. Now, the third one's going to be a challenge, and how well someone takes on the challenge is going to be up to you. It is also going to be an indicator of how suitable are they for your organization. The third one was, I want a video. I want a video of that person delivering a presentation for a minimum of 30 to 1 hour, all right? Now, the first thing that does is that screens out anyone that's not willing to do a video. The second thing is, when I'm watching the video, I'm screening for how are they engaging the audience, or are they at least trying to engage the audience? How well are they actually able to do that? Now, even if it's not great, if there's some seeds of goodness there, fine, happy days, we'll take it, right? And it'll be something we can work with. But if they're standing up doing click, 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 click with the PowerPoint and death by PowerPoint, show up and throw up, I'm not even looking at that person. I'm not even thinking about hiring that person, right? Now, at the end of the day, the video screens out a lot of the people, but also if you don't want to do video, then just get them to come to your organization and do a presentation to the hiring manager, the HR person, and whoever's involved, maybe the lead trainer, the head trainer, whoever's involved in compliance as well, right? Or even bring in your admin staff. And the more people you can actually get taught or as part of the audience, the more that they in the organization are then able to discuss what they really liked about that trainer and what they thought was going on for them quite strongly, right? And that gets the entire organization on board with who do we hire. Now, on that note, basically in this video, I just wanted to touch on attitude, varieties of audiences that someone's taught to, and then last of all, doing a video or doing an on-site real-life presentation where you can actually evaluate their skills. Because just like any other job, like you do an IT coding job, well, you're expected to at least showcase the work that you've done previously. Now, the big part or the big problem about being a trainer is that often you don't have much experience until you get the job, right? So that's why it really comes back to the attitude that I look for, right? Now, these days, I'm not involved in hiring, not involved in recruiting at all. However, I see a lot of RTOs that don't really have sufficient and stringent processes involved, and as a result sometimes they can get stuck having challenges with trainers that really, at the end of the day, if we put these three things in place, then we're good to go and you're going to get a more quality trainer in the doors delivering a great training product for your organization. On that note, folks, my name is Mark Miles, speaking all about training and helping trainers become the best trainers they can be as they deliver workshops in the corporate environment or in the vet sector or even in running your own business. Thanks for watching, team. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.